Deploying autonomous delivery bot.
Test, test. You guys can hear me now? Aw, that was weird. Looks like it's showing up now on Streamlabs. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I had to disconnect it from the USB slot and reconnect it. Hardware stuff, who knows, man?
Get it done.
As long as it's working.
Hello?
Alright, I gotta go to the Mountaineer, I think. Yeah. Order for Sam from the Mountaineer. If I'm not mistaken, we created a path up here.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Anyway, thanks guys. Doctor was not there today. I showed up at the doctor clinic and the poor reception was like, he's not here today. He had an emergency thing he had to go take care of. That, they never call. They never call. It's like, So I ended up talking to her and rescheduling for next Thursday, so.
I'll see you soon.
Where the hell is my... That's not it. I built one somewhere else. I'm like 90% sure this is not the one I built. This was the other one. Yeah, what the heck? The one I built is not here? So I am like 99. I would go back and watch the stream, but I know for a fact. I built another zip line up here. And it's suddenly missing. Because we put it like right up here. Do I have a PPP on me? I do not. Well, I guess I'm going to build it again. I don't know why it's not there.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sand Porter Bridges.
Appointment got skipped, Deeks. The doctor wasn't there. So I showed up and he apparently had something he had to attend to and was not available, and so I had to reschedule for next Thursday. But the main head of the clinic lady was there, so I had like a 30-minute talk with her and we went over things, and she was like, okay, just continue doing these exercises at home and wait till next Thursday. A little frustrating, yes, just a little. Yeah, I don't care about going downhill. I only care about that one right there. But thanks for asking.
Construction complete.
This is just the local clinic, so I'm there in 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes. It's like I stand outside of my house for about 5 minutes waiting for a taxi or a little punchy mobile, and then I'm there in 5 minutes. So this is just a local rehab clinic. It's not that big a deal. Now, if I had to go to the city, I'd be pissed. But this is just my local physical therapy place, so. He is also on staff at the emergency room in the hospital at the town over, at one of the towns over from us. So he, if he's late, you know, or if he gets called into surgery or something, he can't make it. So, unfortunately, he's the only guy, he's the only doctor at this particular clinic. So, he's like the head doctor. And then they have the social service staff, that's who I was talking to today. Then you have all the therapists, they're trained, but they're not the actual, you know, they can't schedule treatment and stuff, so. This is mostly just a checkup. I'm kind of on pause with the physical therapy until I have my checkup. I mean, I can do stuff at home, but I was having some discomfort with one of the exercises they were doing, and then I put together that grill last Sunday, and the day after, probably because I was bending over and doing stuff, I had some numbness, and like something got pinched, and one of the therapists was like, well, we should probably wait for the doctor before we do another session just to double check that he's okay with you continuing this particular part of the physical therapy since you're experiencing numbness down there. And it's like, yeah, I'm okay with that. So in the meantime, I got a bunch of exercises I can do from home while I wait.
Sam Bridges, there's someone we need you to deliver a package to. She's a strange bird that lives even higher up in the clouds than we do. And the research she's doing, well, it's out there and then some. And we're talking straight up occult stuff, though she wouldn't be very happy hearing me say so. And she claims she's delving into the mysteries of the cosmos. Anyway, I found this rock out in the mountains with a handprint on it.
Ooh.
And when I mentioned it to her, she got all excited. I honestly don't know what kind of close encounter she thinks it signifies. But I was wondering if you could bring it to her for me. And joining the UCA has opened my eyes to a few things. Like how there are all these people out there trying to make sense of the Death Stranding in their own way. And sure, her ideas may sound like the ravings of a lunatic to me, but they clearly mean something to her, and I'd like to help her out. With your assistance, that is. You'll find an official order on the terminal.
Overall, the physical therapy has been helping. I do feel much better now than I did, 6 weeks ago or whenever it was that I started. I think it's been about 6 weeks. I do feel better. Um, I'd say my pain is down on a scale of 1 to 10. My daily discomfort and pain has dropped a good 2 to 3 notches. I've been doing some longer walks with Chris. I did some squats in the house the other day and didn't really have any after effects the day after. I still can't do any yoga. I tried to do some yoga a couple days ago and was like, oh yeah, that still does not feel good. So I abandoned the yoga attempt. Um, so overall, it is working, but the when I put the grill together on Sunday, it was last Sunday. I wasn't lifting anything heavy, but I was bent down and squatted down a couple times to, put some screws in. And the next day when I woke up on Monday, it felt uncomfortable and it felt numb. And then when I went to my electrotherapy on Tuesday and I reported that to my physical therapist, she's like, "Well, we should probably just go ahead and put the electrotherapy on hold until the doctor clears it so that we make sure that we're not operating blind." That was my 7th session, and I went ahead and did the session on Tuesday. Um, and then, so I didn't go to physical therapy last Thursday, and I didn't go to therapy this Tuesday because I was waiting for my appointment today on Thursday, and I didn't get in today. So now I gotta wait till next week. And they're busy. Like, that clinic is blowing up right now. So, and he's the only doctor on staff. Like, he was complaining to us the last time I sat and talked to him, which was about 6 weeks ago. He was like, I really need like 2 other doctors. He's like, I need 2 other doctors, but they won't give them to me because everybody's understaffed everywhere. So, yeah, if you wanted to be a doctor here, you could probably make a healthy living because they need them. But yeah, I mean, I'm feeling better. It's just, it's for this type of injury, I guess it's going to be, you know, a long, long process. Thanks, Michael. Specialist is, yeah. And the funny thing is, like the original specialist I saw in January, I have a follow up with them in April. I don't even know if I'm going to go because all they want to do is take another X-ray and do another ultrasound. And it's like, your ultrasounds and X-rays haven't seen shit. I want an MRI, and they don't want to schedule me with an MRI. So I'm kind of like, this guy's actually talking to me locally and sending me through physical therapy, and it's working. So I'm like, I'm kind of more inclined to just not go to the city, but I probably should because it was such a hassle to get it taken care of in the first place. But that's an April problem. That's not a March problem. The spiritualist. I do not have any zip lines over to this lady, I don't think. Yeah, future Ren decisions. Well, yeah, good luck with getting the specialist, Michael, for sure. And thanks for the super chat, by the way. Yeah, I think it's I don't think it matters. I think anywhere you go, um, it's a pain in the butt everywhere you live. We are almost up to 50K subs. Yeah, we're almost there. We'll hit the. I don't think we're gonna hit it in March because we're only a few days away from it. I'll get it in April because I've been averaging like 1.2 to 1.5K per month is like the standard, and then I have big months when we do like 3,000. But I haven't had a big month. I think our last big month was October, November. And that's kind of standard every year. Like the July to December run is always huge for the schedule because there's so many good games that come out. And then January sucks. February is hit or miss. March is hit or miss. But it always ramps up. Plus, the advertisers don't pay as much at the beginning of the year because it's the first quarter. So everything always ramps up towards the summertime and then really gets going by midsummer. All right. 80 kilos of stuff, man. $100K by the time your leg's fixed. That would be nice. That'd be a nice celebration move.
Sam, it's just like the one at South Knot City. A vortex loaded with so much chiralium that it's almost off the charts. Slowly but surely, it's creeping closer to us here in Mountain Knot. At least that's what I think, but I can't see it. Not with the naked eye. But the data doesn't lie. It's the same temporal phenomenon that you told me dropped you in a war zone.
I told you. But that wasn't.
The Cupid's limiter can handle most chiral spikes, but we didn't plan for another supercell.
Another supercell.
I told you it was the same as before.
Mama, is that you?
You got me, Sam. It's been a while. But not really. Mulligan, Lochner, we're the same. One body, one mind, one being. There's no point in trying to draw a distinction. Not in this world. We're all connected. Remember that.
Order assigned.
Alright, this is going to be a bit of a nasty delivery, I think, because I don't have any... I don't have any zip lines over there.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Dude, there ain't nothing wrong with that, Michael. Cyberpunk is a freaking amazing game. And it's set up so that you can play it that way, like, legit. Like, you can just drop in and run a mission, go away, come back, play another mission. Dude, it's such a good game. And they've added so much content over the years. Even without the, even outside of the DLC. That Radiant quest system is so freaking awesome. And then like all the new cars and the way that you can just drive around and do stuff. Ugh. I love Cyberpunk. That's a good game. That one's got 2 full playthroughs from me, and I would do another one. I would happily do another playthrough of Cyberpunk. Oh, does somebody have a rope here? Oh, it's a ladder. It doesn't go anywhere. This is lovely. Problem is the snow damages my... So we gotta move. I don't have any spray either. Yeah, I haven't even watched the replay yet of the, oh shit. Man, I'm completely blind here. I don't know if I'm going to go up or around. I haven't watched Nintendo. I know Ubisoft had a showcase of some type today too. I haven't watched. And I'm behind on doing my review of Daredevil for the other channel. And we need to watch the new Daredevil today. Is it a longer episode, Deeps? Oh, they dropped 5 and 6 on the same night this week. Okay. Man, I have no idea if I'm going the right direction. Watch out for the whiteout. They send me a mail now. Yeah, the DiCaprio trailer looks awesome. I saw a clip of it, or a teaser of it. I've never been to Woody's, nope. I can't see shit. When I was a boy. That's a great quote. That's a great way to do it too. When I was a boy. And you can instantly hear it in your minds too, as Spencer Jumper would pronounce it. Well, that's probably what I'll do after the stream today, because we got to get caught up. I gotta say, as much as I love Daredevil, though, the original time around, I'm not feeling this season that much. It's not been as up there for me personally. I'm just waiting for them to, you know, it's good. I think it's not as good as the original, but I think that some of that is too because they, you know, the original cast and all that synergy they had going between Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and the Iron Fist. Like there was a whole, like the Netflix stuff was really pumping it out. And they've kind of lost that, and it's going to take them a little bit to get back into it. But I do love the fact that we've already got confirmation of a new Punisher series, and John Bernthal is co-writing that, so I think that's going to be something special. I'm looking forward to the new 2 episodes, but that's cool to know that there's 2 that we can watch tonight.
Delivering cargo.
Sam Bridges, I've been expecting you. The Mountaineer told me all about you. This handprint you brought me, or stencil as I prefer to call it, is a vital clue. It hails from an era long before the dawn of human history.
When I was a boy.
I'm going to date it and lay bare the cause
That's gonna be
of the
stuck
Death
with me all day
Stranding.
today now.
And when I do, all the secrets of the cosmos shall be revealed. Did you know this mountain used to be a pyramid in ancient times? It's true. You won't find a place closer to the beach than this. To the wellspring, a source of untold power. How else do you think that chiral network of yours works? But I digress. Show me the stencil. Thank you. It's in excellent condition. All right, connect me to the chiral network.
Dude, Deeks. That would be awesome. just to try it. You probably would get arrested, but hashtag worth it. Vanessa. I think the strangest thing that they have his character do is when and he doesn't do it every time, because sometimes he'll sit down. So usually when he sits down to eat, he like eats like a single thing, like it's a single strand of asparagus, right, with like one egg. But then like the scene when he sits down and he's got the tortured ex-boyfriend in the cell and he's sitting down to a whole plate full of spaghetti with like 6 sausages and he's like reveling in the evil and the gluttony and it's like it's such a contrast of when he keeps himself tightly controlled over here, but then he still has those moments where he descends back into madness. Yeah, he's a damn good actor. Didn't Vincent D'Onofrio, didn't he do the movie with J-Lo did a horror movie called The Cell, I think. Wasn't he in that movie with her? And I can't remember what part he played, like a cop or a detective or something. That was a weird sci-fi horror movie that I haven't seen in a long time. He was also in Gary Sinise did and like an alien movie where they're looking for duplicates. Fuck. And Madeline Stowe might be in that movie too. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. That's a good movie. I haven't seen that in years. I can't remember the name of that movie though. I know Vincent D'Onofrio's in it though, because he's like, that's another one he played like a government agent or something. And I loved him in the Magnificent Seven reboot they did a few years back with Denzel Washington and
Now I have everything I need to date the stencil. Once I have my results, I'll share them with you and your colleagues at Bridges. You've done a good thing, Sam. If you find anything else, be sure to bring it straight to me. I'll be waiting. You should take this. I'm certain that it will be of use to you in your journey.
What you gotta give me? Another backpack token. Well, I never watched Law and Order. He was on that show? Shit, I didn't know that.
Until we meet again, my friend.
He was the serial killer in the cell?
BB-28 is in excellent condition.
I can't remember. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Of lingering attachments or homesickness either.
I just remember that he's in it.
Perhaps its memory was erased after all. All that remains is for you to hook it up and take it for a run. I was hoping to return it to you as soon as possible, but I don't want to. I mean, I do, but it's a little more complicated than that.
What?
We've got a problem. You may have heard about the massive supercell heading right for Mountain Knot City. I left my facility to perform some additional tests on the BB in the field, and now I find myself unable to return. You know the cabin on the mountainside, northeast of Mountain Knot? Let's meet there.
Oh, we're gonna get another special conversation with the doc.
Order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
Anybody home?
Thank you.
Ooh. that's somewhere completely off the grid. But I will be able to get relatively close with a zip line, it looks like. I don't know whose zip line that is, though. It's not one of mine. Although, it looks like there's a zip line right outside the front door here. Let's go see where it goes.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Oh, there's one right over there, 200 meters away. Wonder why I can't connect to it. There's probably something blocking us.
Beginning scan.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it, Deeks. Like, I'm just so happy to be back in the Daredevil world that I'm happy with it, even though I don't feel that it's as good as. I'm still like, I don't care. Like, we're back. That's good enough for me. I do wish they hadn't done Foggy Dirty like they did, but I understood why it had to happen. Custom Cairo climbing anchor. Oh, that's interesting. Alright, we've got 400 meters to go. There's definitely a zip line right over the hill.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
But it won't connect. So, I bet if I run right over there to that, I can get it to connect over there. The question is, there's that supercell between. I wonder if it's between me and him. Decisions. Well, I'm gonna run the risk of just taking it over here and see what happens. Like, I can't wait for a new season of Punisher. Like, Punisher is such a good character. But one thing I miss is, and I think this is what I'm missing about the new Daredevil, is he's trying so hard to be the lawyer and not resort to violence. And I miss the violent Daredevil with those like uncut action sequences where like he's just beating the shit out of bad guys in hallways, and like. They do this huge choreographed scenes. I do miss that part. Yeah, it's a supercell, and it's somewhere over there. I still gotta go 200 meters. Ah! Oh, there's no way. I would have to build one. Right atop here to connect, which is a waste of resources, honestly. But I kind of do want to build one here. If I bring it down now, see, I'm completely out of view here. So this is somebody else's right here. Bye-bye, Jurgen. Why are you playing this game? I don't like it. It's boring.
Strong hand, fist of iron, judgment for.
Go to Reddit and cry.
Hearts are dying, bang hammer strikes, tears like rain, justice served, feel their pain.
Fuck off to Reddit. Cry somewhere where they give a shit. Why are you playing this game? It's so boring. I'm not having fun. You shouldn't be allowed to have fun. If I put it right here, I should be able to put another one down there. I need to go build another PvP though. Right, why are they here? Like, why come to a channel? Why watch a stream of a game you don't like? Other than to be a stupid idiot. Like, that's just, yeah, it's just trolls, man. Be miserable with me. How dare you be happy? I don't want you to be happy. I want you to share in my misery.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure.
What do I need to make a PPP? I need 30 chemicals. Not chemicals, sorry. 30 of the... Yeah, see, that's the thing, Deeks. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know, I've kind of found this game boring, personally, but good for you. Have fun, enjoy it. But it's kind of like one of those things, it's like, imagine, and I'm pretty sure I read this in the, PC Gamer article recently that was celebrating Fighting Cowboy and his rant going off on the DEI, anti-woke DEI trolls who hate Ubisoft. Like, I think that was where it was. It was like, imagine that you're having a Warhammer session or you're painting figurines and somebody wants to come along and participate, and they show up and they sit down at the table next to you and they just immediately start, well, why are you painting it? I don't like that color. You should do it this color. Man, miniatures are stupid. What's the point of these miniatures? Like, I don't get it. I don't like throwing dice. What's the point of it? Why the fuck are you here? Why are you here? If you're just here to shit and piss all over everybody's thing and hobby, you're pissing in everybody's Cheerios, go somewhere else. Go away. We don't want you here. You don't need to be here.
Thank you for your contribution.
You don't have to watch every single one of my streams. I play lots of different games. If you're not enjoying one of the games that I'm playing, you prefer to watch me play Assassin's Creed Shadows, you prefer to watch me play Dune Awakening, you prefer to watch me play Star Wars: The Republic, I get it. Wait for me to stream those games. Watch those ones. You don't have to tune into every single stream. Now, if you do want to tune into every stream, I welcome people to every stream. But the people who are here for every stream are generally people who are here because they want to hang out and be a part of the community, not because they specifically care about any one particular game. Like, everybody's got different preferences for different games. But, like, Jesus. Don't be an idiot and say stupid stuff like, why are you playing this? It's stupid. Something's about to happen. They're not going to let me build my zip line. Oh, and of course my battery is lower than this happened. Baby at me. Oh no, he just like teleported out. Man, I didn't get a chance to build my zip line. Peterson says over on Twitch, I'm here because I love to watch you play different games. Doesn't matter what game, it's entertaining. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's weird how some people think that they own a piece of you when you play a certain game. And then when you switch to the other thing, they get all upset. People are weird. But it's a click of a button. That's all it is. That's all it takes. It's really easy to get rid of those crybabies. Send them back to Reddit, where they came from. Guess who's about to show up? Take the baby from you. You're not out of the woods yet, buddy. Something just wrapped around his leg, I think. Prying open my third eye. I think we could put this up there with I think Kojima has watched a little bit of Terry Gilliam, I think. I loved him in Hannibal. Like, Casino Royale was awesome, but Hannibal is probably the role that I have enjoyed him in the most.
Sam!
Dead man.
Oh, thank God I got through.
Where are you?
No idea. I'm seeing tanks and soldiers. The uniforms date back over a century. World War II era, I suspect. Did you see the man leading the soldiers?
No.
I think it's the guy you told us about.
The born and bred warrior asshole who's gunning for BB.
He must be our ticket home, right?
Don't ask me. This is only my second time. And without BB, he'll be hard to find.
Lucky for you, I've got BB here in tip-top shape, just waiting for you. Where should we meet?
Is there anything unusual or distinct near you?
I'm in the sewers. Hang on.
Yeah, JK, can you imagine going to a racing event and
tower,
standing up to the
right
crowds
above my
back? This is
position.
boring!
Gotcha. I'll find it.
Why
Search
is
for a
everyone
steward
here?
entrance.
This is stupid.
Can you sit tight for now?
Gladly. I won't move an inch.
Yeah, well, if I'm slow, you might have to.
What?
That warrior asshole. He wasn't after me. He was after BB.
Fuck me.
Right. If he's looking for anyone, it's you.
Oh no. Hurry the hell up, Sam.
Keep it together. I'm on my way. And don't hook up BB either. You'll lead him straight to you.
Oh boy.
Not that you would, since you hate them.
I just did because I was scared to death.
Disconnect. Now.
Already done.
Don't let him take BB.
How? If he shows up with his soldiers, what do you expect me to do? Fight back? If I have to choose between BB and myself, well...
You won't. I'm ending the call.
Sam, it's not easy being me. No wife, no children, no friends. And so I sought solace, sought company in the dead. Over time, I made them a part of me. 70% of who I am today. But meeting you has opened my eyes. You're very special, Sam.
I'm so special, so special. Assassin's Creed has now sold 3 million copies. Over 3 million copies. Surpassing the launches of both Origins and Odyssey. Hang on, I'm scrolling through this article really quick. Doing well. Now, I don't have really a way to check anything, and I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't have any weapons at the moment. Fuck am I going? Dude, I do not want to be down in creepy sewers, man. is, but I'm not coming up quite yet.
Over here.
Lou.
Dead man's a goner now. He's a goner. He's not making it out of here.
The little one should be working again. Let me see. Oh, well then. Maybe this is a special beach for soldiers who died in battle.
Maybe we should get the hell out of here.
Yes.
I'm surprised. I thought you would have abandoned BB by now.
Discard precious hardware? Never. So, do you still share memories? I see.
Stay here. Seems like I got other memories to tend to. I'm taking him down. That should get us both out of here.
You know, Sam, I'm starting to understand why BB is so important to you.
Huh?
It's just a tool. Life and death are supposed to be irrelevant. But we've got attached to each other all the same, haven't we?
Kid's not just a tool. Name's Lou.
Lou, huh? That's a good name.
Is Assassin's Creed 2 worth playing for $5 or is it too dated? I mean, for $5, if you've got the time, I don't think anything's too dated for $5. Well, at least nothing like that. I don't know that I would go back and play something like Pools of Radiance. But hell, I just played Baldur's Gate 1 like 4 or 5 years ago, and that's pretty dated, and still had a good time. I think I went back and played some of the old point-and-click games from the 90s, but I think everybody has a personal tolerance for what's too dated. Like, I wouldn't make a practice of going back and playing like the old point-and-click games. I think it's fun to do every once in a while, but yeah, there's a reason we've moved beyond simple interfaces. Like, I follow Corey and Lori Cole, who are the makers of Quest for Glory. They've got a Patreon page, and they did Hero U a few years back. Anyway, their YouTube channel, they do streams every once in a while of their older games, and they did a playthrough recently of they did a partial playthrough, they did a stream anyway, of Quest for Glory 2, which never got the point-and-click upgrade that Quest for Glory 1 did, so it doesn't actually have a mouse interface. It's all type commands. Go north, pick up, go south. And I'm like, I can't play a text control game. Like, if you ask me to play a MUD or a game where I have to control things with text commands, and you've completely lost me, because that's too dated. But some of the old point-and-click games are still modern enough that the point-and-click, even if the graphics are really like Quest for Glory 1. Quest for Glory 1 literally is still a fun time. The graphics are outdated, but it's a very simple point-and-click interface. Point-and-click, King's Quest V, King's Quest 6, The Dig by LucasArts, Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Father, the original one, not the remake. You can go back and play some of those 90 games. So Assassin's Creed 2, I don't think it's that dated. Definitely older. I don't have any guns. I do have a boatload of grenades. is up with the barbed wire spider web, man? God, it makes me want to have a cigarette, and I haven't smoked in decades. Oh, at least they've got an assault rifle.
Let's pick up the pace.
No, let's not pick up the pace, please.
Light him up.
Oh, damn it. Shit, I'm out of, is that weapon out of ammo? No, still says it has rounds. I haven't played this game in a hot minute, so I'm trying to get used to playing the game again. Fuck you. Throwing grenades at me.
We need reinforcements. Dad.
Where's my baby?
Let's get to work.
God, what I wouldn't give for an aim assist. I'm out of ammo in that one.
We need reinforcements. Get back out there. Stay pressed.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Oh fuck! Didn't know that there was a grenade on top of me. I heard it and it dropped a bunch of stuff. Hang on, hang on. Him left, right? Assault rifle over here that I want.
Over here. Open fire. Keep your eyes peeled. Disengage.
My dear baby.
We need reinforcements. Move. Bring it to me.
Shit, that's a lot. Oh! Where is he?
Keep your eyes peeled.
Oh, shit, where's my gun? Where's my gun? Did he not have the gun? I hate it how sometimes I like drop the gun for some reason. Fuck, I need to run and eat some food somewhere. Drop that fucker. Whew.
Maybe this is all my fault. I should never have put you in that prison. Maybe.
Oh, I got some new interviews to read. Report on the void out Manhattan. Thanks for the jump scare. Wasn't quite ready for that.
Lou? Lou?
How's little Lou doing?
No response.
Well, look at that. That child's taking a shine to me. You two were out cold, so I had you brought here. You were right. Whatever you did back there returned us to our own world. I put your cargo and gear in your private box. You slept for a whole day, you know. Slept like the dead. I'm already back in Capital Knot. Fragile's beach has been coming in handy. Sam, I owe you an apology. Lou was the name you were going to give your own baby if he'd had made it. I should have pieced it together sooner.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I found some records from 10 years ago. A death, sudden, in the middle of a town. Young woman in the prime of her life. Nobody knew until it was too late. Avoid her. Her husband, who was a member of Bridges, had dooms. He tried, but he couldn't get to her in time. The whole town was wiped off the map, leaving nothing but a big crater and him. Because he was a repatriate. People wanted answers. Did the man hide his wife's body on purpose? The only survivor was the only suspect. He was easy to blame, and people did. And pretty soon, they were blaming Bridges too. The man felt responsible, so he left. And his wife, who died, her name was Lucy. She'd been pregnant, poor woman. They were going to name their son Lou. Didn't. But it did. President Strand told me. She talked about you all the time. He didn't have to cut all ties and walk away, she said.
You wanna shut the fuck up?
Calm down, Sam. Take a seat. I told you before about my body. 70% harvested from cadavers. Do you want to know the real reason why? Because the story you've heard is one I made up. The truth is, I'm Frankenstein's monster. Artificial. Grown from pluripotent stem cells. And when that vital spark didn't manifest in all my organs, they replaced the defective ones with those of the dead. I never had a birthday. I'm a soulless meat puppet. No car. A dead man. People born the traditional way have beaches. You have one. BB too. But I have no such connections. No mother. No afterlife. No beach. You see now why I'm so obsessed with it all? Why I joined Bridges? The battlefield. Now that was an awful beach. But strangely, I didn't hate it. Because I knew you were coming for me. I've never felt that before. Connected to someone. Anyone. You didn't have to cut all ties and walk away. The president was right about that much.
Wasn't anything to walk away from. It's not like I was ever welcome there.
Come on. Even I was welcome. Oh, that. You were holding it. It's an old dog tag. US issue. Wasn't easy prying it out of your hand. Clifford Unger, as you can see. I looked him up in our database. Found a match. He was US Army Special Forces. Fought in Kosovo, Iraq, Afghanistan.
That's him.
Well, that's all I've managed to dig up so far. You must be caked in chiral matter from the battlefield. Time for a shower, I'd say. Oh, I won't be joining you this time. The Die Hardman issue is no longer a concern. I've seen to it that our conversations won't be recorded.
Nice.
Sam, do you copy? As you might have suspected, time here stopped while you two were on that battlefield. If my thinking is correct, the dimension to which you traveled is a kind of beach. To explain a little, our bodies, our ha, all occupy the same world, but our souls, our ka, have beaches all their own. These beaches are given form inside our brains by our beliefs, religion, philosophy, and so forth. As a result, a beach can be anything, and those anythings form a multiverse. However, if many people die at once, their beaches can become entangled, creating a strand field. This phenomenon is exacerbated in wartime by omnipresent feelings of resentment and despair.
Makes
Beaches
sense.
are more easily and frequently entangled. On such a beach, exits vanish and experiences cycle endlessly. Picture it like a record player. playing the same phrase again and again. They're fighting a battle that has no beginning or end. Round and round it goes. Now, the battlefield you visited was in Eastern Europe in World War II. Which is strange, given that the man you encountered, Clifford Unger, played no part in that conflict. I can't explain it, but if you can connect me to the chiral network, who knows what we might discover.
EX grenade number 0.
Okay.
Still there, Sam? If so, I have a request. When you're ready, head upstairs to the delivery terminal.
Wife's doing great now, thanks to you. That's the Mountaineer, so he's got a quest he wants me to do. Dead man's winter coat and boots should be some nearby. Mountain Knot City. Okay, well let's start with this one. The Mountaineer. First I need to go upstairs, see where the hell I'm at. Oh no, there was one more thing I needed to do. Where's it at? Aha! Who the hell? Those were the doctor's final words. Operating on a mother who had been declared brain dead 7 months into her pregnancy. Who the hell? The incident was an annihilation event brought on by the doctor's contact with whatever or whomever he had seen upon touching the umbilical cord. The same conditions. Brain dead mothers, fetuses, umbilical cords. The BTs could be detected in the mystery of the death standing. Alright, let's see where we are. Baby?
Can I help you? Holy shit. John, is that you? What are you doing here? My wife's checked in. They don't want to repeat of last year.
Is that our masked man? Die Hardman?
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were.
It is. Yep. Definitely his voice.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear.
Okay. I need to get back up to the mountain. The Mountaineer.
All weapons will remain locked until departure. All clear.
Oh,
Beginning scan.
check my
Out of
cargo,
flight.
because I don't know. He said it was in my private locker, so private. Yeah, I need to check my private locker.
Concern.
Woo, good thing I didn't head out.
Sam, the west side of that region is covered by a massive tar belt. Beyond it is Edgenut City, the last bastion of civilization you'll find that far out. It's your final destination. Once you use the Cupid to connect it, the chiral network will span the entire continent. The rebirth of America is so close. And remember, that's where Amelie is being held captive. We need you to bring her home safely. But before you cross the tar belt, there's one more knot we need you to tie. Hartman will help you get it done.
Sam, I'd like for you to bring me a few things. First, the dog tags you took from that soldier. Tuck them away in a pocket so you don't misplace them. Second, Mama's corpse. Her body shows no signs of necrosis, and I, for one, would like very much to know the reason why. Closer study may yield information that could prove instrumental in helping us to overcome the Death Stranding.
It could be,
I should
JK.
say, 1 minute remaining. I don't have much time. See to your preparations. I'll be waiting. You'll find an official order on the terminal.
Alright, first up, I want my all-terrain skeleton. I want my power gloves. Want my bridges boots. I'm gonna have to get another pair of boots, it looks like. Nope.
Thank you for your contribution.
Alright, let's get up to the mountains.
Have a pleasure journey. Keep on keeping on. Safe travel.
Although I think I equipped the wrong boots. I think I need to have the number 3s on. And the number 2s on the boot clip. Yeah, I don't like where those are. There we go. Alright, we're going up to the mountain man.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
I didn't, so everybody did? I wonder if it was a YouTube thing. I'm not seeing anything yet in the connection. So who knows? I lost my PCC2 over there too whenever I did the, got sucked into the vortex.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying
Keep on
ID.
keeping on.
Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure.
Alright, he's got an order for me. The Mountaineer. Recover cold resistant materials lost. This is the one, right? I have a friend nearby. I'd like you to deliver something too. Could you drop by when you have time? I'd appreciate it. Well, he's only got 2 orders here. It's got to be this one right here, the delivery. Deliver natural ice. I could do that. I've got a zip line that goes all the way back there. I'm assuming this is the one.
Order assigned. Keep on keeping on. Weapons restrictions lifted.
Never said I think that mail referred to the spiritualist order that you already did. Oh, that could be. I guess we'll find out in a second. I've got a zip line that'll take me all the way over there, so this shouldn't take too long. Nice, Heinrich. Yeah, Adamfall was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Yep. Thank you for the kind words, Heinrich. Oh, you chase me all you want, buddy. Says the cargo is damaged. Whatevs.
Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you. Safe trap clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges. Keep on keeping on.
Hey, Sam. You made it. Cargo's in?
Not in perfect condition. Because it said that it was damaged a little bit from the temperature.
Watch your back out there. No one else will.
That's correct. No one else will.
New order available. Please access
Well, I had another one. This one. Recovery. Dead man's stuff. Mountain Knot City. Yeah, I gotta go back up to that cabin. You could take the order at the delivery terminal at Mountain Knot City.
Delivery terminal for further information.
That's where I'm at, right? No, I'm at the distribution center. I gotta go back to Mountain Knot City to pick up that order. Okay.
Keep on keeping in step. Have a pleasant journey. Safe travels.
Man, that was a portion of the mountains that's way up there, and I'm gonna have to take another zip. I'll take a PCC2 up there because I don't know where my other PCC2 went. Because I needed to build one more zip line down where the cabin was. I should probably take more than one PCC up there. Honestly, hang on. Let me hold that thought, because I might want to build some more zip lines from the Mountaineer's hut over there, because I did bring that network back onto the. I brought it back onto the chiral network, so I wonder if I could take any zip lines up there to build. Might as well.
Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Any PCC2s? No. I can make 3.
Keep on keeping up in step. Have a pleasant journey. Safe travels. Weapons restrictions lifted.
Alright, here we go. Back to Mountain Knot City. I'm enjoying it too much to notice chat. Ekman said, I finished yesterday, an absolute masterpiece. How am I enjoying it? It's good. I put a link up in the chat earlier to my initial review of the game, which was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. This has been something we're playing in between major releases, so. Alright, we have got to pick up the order to go get.
Beginning scan. Scanning Bridges ID.
the items, and then I gotta go back up in the mountains, which is gonna be gnarly.
All clear. Welcome to Sandport Bridges.
Yeah, corpse. No, winter clothes. This is the one I'm looking for. Yeah, that's later.
Order assigned.
Any PCC2s? Nope. I'm not gonna. Well, I might carry these. We'll see.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey. Safe travels.
This will be the fun part.
Drop by whenever you like.
Time to do some route planning. I don't have. I did have some zip lines. I wonder if I could get there from the zip lines I placed earlier. It kind of looks like I can. I might not need all these PCC2s because when I originally traveled up there, I came in from a different direction and there were no zip lines, but I actually have zip lines up in that area that I put up earlier. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's trippy how I see a bunch of the road structures going over the mountains, but I haven't messed with these roads at all. I was building my road down all the way to the south port city. Like that right over there, that's a highway thing. Right there. If I'm not mistaken. We're going past it. Well, oh, look at that. There's a partial road built through here. Somebody has been working on the road. Oh, look at there. I think I got lucky. There's going to be some right here. Now I got to get off and get up. "27 meters above." Come on, we got this. Oh, come on. Don't be a little bitch. You can get up there. Ah, fuck.
Seriously?
I'm gonna have to go around a little bit. I got no grips. And I don't have a ladder. Baby's all stressed out. How the hell am I getting up there? Ugh. That road was definitely not here the last time I was here. Can I make that? Do not fucking fall, Sam Porter Bridges. Alright. Grab the rope and shimmy on down to your zip line, sir. No. Gotta remember, you gotta move this camera in weird ways. Look at that. Like it was made for me. You were made for me. I was made for you. I was made for cruising you, zipline. You were made for holding me. I want to deliver it all to you.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you. Decontaminating suit. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges. Have a pleasant journey.
All right, let's deliver.
Thanks, Sam. Mountain Knot City wouldn't be on the chiral network if it weren't for you.
That's right.
Now we can finally do our part for the UCA. Sorry you had to go through so much trouble. Just know that we appreciate it. Wow,
took great care of everything. I mean, honestly, you'd be hard-pressed to call this anything less than perfect.
An assault rifle level 3. Non-lethal assault rifle level 3. More bandwidth, more goodies.
We were on our own for the longest time. But since joining the UCA, we've been able to communicate with people all over. We've learned a lot from them. And them from us, I'd like to think. We've never felt so connected. You know, folks have shared stories about you too. You know, the incredible things you've done. I gotta be honest, part of me still can't believe you're real. Much less that you're willing to go through hell and back just to keep us going. Yeah, anyway, sorry. You got places to be. Just know that you'll always be welcome here. Why don't you rest up, Rico?
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
I just saw a clip they're showing off Death Stranding 2 photo mode. Matter of fact, I haven't even looked at the Death Stranding 2 pre-orders. I know I watched the trailer, but I don't remember. Let me go to the PS5 store. So that's the standard edition, the deluxe edition, 48 hours early access. Combat skeleton, some other stuff. Alright. Well, we're still a ways away from the launch, so I'm not going to need to pre-order yet. Yes, it is very satisfactory, Jackin, to be able to have a highway.
Well, at least you know your limits, huh?
Give me a second. I need to check in with my wifey. I'll be right back. No one's home. No one's home. I'm home. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. JK says, feels real good on your own roads. I was Sam the trucker. Man, I have found more satisfaction since I learned how to do them. So I still have that highway over here, right? That I built from Lake Knot City all the way down. And I was only 3 stops away from getting it down to South Knot City. But then I got put it up into the mountains. And since then, I've spent like the last, I don't know, 15, 20 hours of the game just building zip lines to connect me everywhere. And at the end of the day, I do find the zip lines to be a little more satisfactory in terms of riding around. But I do like the highways, and the highways, it feels good. But they require so many materials. And like, there's a highway you can build up here from the crossroads at the Craftsman all the way up through here. And then I'm assuming it comes down. I don't know, but then there's one you can build over here through the mountains, which we just saw this stretch of right here. And it's like, it requires so many damn resources. And then because they fade over time, it's like, oh, it looks like somebody completed some highway over here too. It's nuts. Sam, the trucker man, delivering goods wherever he can. Sam, the trucker man. Oh, you know what I do have, which I never did? I never did do that second pizza delivery. Aha, here it is. From South Knot City. Question is, I know I've got a zip line all the way over to the weather station. I've got like 5 PCC2s on me. I wonder if that's enough to get me from the weather station across to the highway. Not that I would need to. I have queso fresco. Gracias. Right, exactly, JK. Like, there's so many different possibilities and ways to play. What would be the easiest thing for me to do here? I bet I could stash all of my PCC2s. If I'm going to go to South Knot City, probably the easiest way is to go all the way back over. So I've got a vehicle stashed Thank you, Chris. Oh, look at her. Look at her. These are not for you, Snow White. No, these are for Daddy. She's jealous. Chris just made she made hummus from scratch. She makes her own hummus, so she makes her own tahine. So she roasts the sesames down, grinds them up, makes her own. I got fresh tomatoes. Queso fresco. And fresh tortillas because I don't do a pita bread right now. Let's do some tortillas. Steph says the highway over the snow mountains was added later. Nice. Are you jealous that your daddy's eating something, honey? You want a bite of cheese? Here. Crazy little kitty cat. No, that's for me. You want a bite of tortilla? No? You don't like tortilla? Yeah, you ate the cheese, but you don't want the tortilla? Cats are fun, man. What's up, Thandar? I'm hungry, man. And she was like, she made hummus today, so. She makes hummus about once a month. What's up, Gary? I need to go make some more coffee, but I took a nap today. Oh, that's crazy, Steph. I was surprised you could take her, how did I get her here? Did I take her on a zip line? I'm about to have to take her body. I guess when I brought her here the first time, but now I actually have to take her body somewhere. Nope, no kids. Just animals. Lots of animals. We've talked about that on stream before. It's been a while, but yeah, we can't have kids. Chris had an ectopic pregnancy back in 2014, 15. Lost the baby, had to get one of her fallopian tubes taken out. And we can't. So we have lots of animals instead. It was a pretty traumatic surgery and event, which we documented over on our travel blog website at the time. Not fun. we were jogging. We were living in Playa del Carmen. We were out jogging one morning, and suddenly I was like, Chris is gone. And I was like, where did Chris go? And I turned around, and she was like 2 blocks behind me, leaning up against the side of a house with like horrible, like immediately we got to go to the hospital, pains in her stomach and abdomen area. So, yeah, we rushed to the hospital. She had internal bleeding. The fallopian tube had burst open inside, so she had internal bleeding, and they did an immediate surgery, took the tube out, took the fetus out, and then that's all she wrote. It was a long recovery, long emotional recovery for both of us, but we're well past it now. And we were doing we had gone to a fertility clinic right at the beginning of COVID, like right before COVID started, before all the lockdowns happened, like end of 2020 or 2019. In Mexico City, we were at a fertility clinic going through all this stuff because we were going to see about doing in vitro or something. And then the lockdowns happened, and it was like 2 years of being locked down. And it was like we didn't continue through with that. And then it was something like a year and a half into the COVID, we were like, maybe it was a good thing that COVID happened, because neither one of us wanted to really bring up a kid in that environment where everybody's locked down in quarantine, and then looking at the state of the world that we're in right now, I don't think either one of us, we haven't talked about it in probably a couple of years, but I don't regret at all deciding to just not pursue it anymore. No, here, I'm about done. Did you make? I was hungry. Look at her. I already gave her some cheese. No, I gave her cheese. Mm-hmm. She's being a monster. Yeah. Thanks for lunch. So yeah, no kids. It's the short version. Alright, we're gonna go all the way around to I think we're gonna go all the way back around to the way station north, and then we're gonna drive down. And we're gonna make that pizza delivery. Gary says, as an owner of children, I choose the animals.
Restrictions lifted.
I think when you go through a lot of shit together, it's either gonna break you or bring you closer together. So, Chris is a pretty amazing person, so we both had some, been through some shit together. We're pretty close with like my brother and his wife and their kids, and then we basically partially raised our 2 nieces here. Christina's 2 nieces. One of her sister has some kids, and her sister went through some stuff with her ex-husband. He's no longer around. Like literally, he's no longer here on this planet. And Chris and I actually raised those kids for a couple of summers. I remember it was after Chris had her surgery, we came back here and lived with her family for the recovery period so that she had a good emotional support group. and I ended up, I think the youngest was like 6 years old at the time. I walked her to school every single day for like 8 months, helping her carry her backpack with all the books in it and stuff. And then they came and stayed with us for the summer. And now they're, I think the youngest, she's now, however old she is now, she just had her first kid. She's like 17, 18 years old, just had a baby like 3 days ago. And her older sister has a like 3-year-old kid. She's got a very successful business here. Chris is helping her with bookkeeping. She's like, I don't even know how old she is now, 20, 19, 20. So we don't really, we don't have our own kids, but we've definitely helped raise a bunch of kids here, and then my brother's kids. Tio is uncle in Spanish. T-I-O. Blanca, where did you go, kitty cat? There you are. You're being a naughty little girl. Am I fluent in Spanish? Pretty much. I'm conversationally fluent. I've been here 15 years, so I better be. I have problems with past tense and future tense verbs is where my weak point is, because I've never taken any official classes, so... But I get by. Oh, that's a new zip line down there. Whose zip line is that? I don't know whose zip line that is. Yeah, if you stick around long enough on the streams, there will be Spanish at some point, because Chris comes in here a lot. She speaks English, but we don't use it at the house very much. And she's even gotten really lazy. I give her shit all the time. She's gotten really lazy in our homestead videos. She doesn't use English anymore. She used to use English all the time in our homestead videos. And now she just does it all in Spanish. Just, nah, I don't care. It just makes me laugh. I'm like, alright, fair enough.
All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Alright, my truck is nice and safe underneath here, so we're gonna drive this back down to South Knot City. At least I hope I'm gonna get all the way to South Knot City. I may stop up at the distro center and grab a bike instead. Probably easier. And put this thing in the repairs. Is it possible to achieve a rank above Gringo based on time spent there? Yes, although you just have to accept that some people are always going to assume that you are a clueless Gringo until you prove otherwise. Yeah, Gringo is just slang for white guy. Yeah. Not so much where I live, because nobody here... I live deep in the middle of nowhere. So because I live in the middle of nowhere, there aren't very many white guys that live here. And so it's assumed that if you're living here as a white guy, you know Spanish and you're not just a normal Gringo. Now, if you're in a tourist destination like Cancun or Puerto Vallarta, it's going to be a little bit. Mexico City, no one gives a shit. I'm not, like, no joking. Mexico City has so many people. It's millions and millions. It's one of the biggest cities on the planet, and it's an international city. There's Japanese, there's Chinese, there's Indian, there's everybody. So no one assumes anything in the city. But like Cancun and Puerto Vallarta, they absolutely assume, because there's so much tourism there from the United States and Canada, and the UK. Like, they just assume that everyone. But where I live, no one assumes, because it's like, no one's gonna be out here. No white dude is gonna be out here, you know. But in this town, there's a lady across the street from us. Actually, she's from the United States. I believe she's from Georgia. She is a member of Christina's church, so she's a Jehovah's Witness, and she came down here on a mission, like as a missionary or whatever. And she's been down here a year and a half, 2 years, and she lives right across the street from us. She rents from one of the people at the church, has a house that she rents. But she speaks fluent Spanish. I think she speaks better Spanish than I do, actually. Sometimes. Chris says it's hit and miss. Some of the stuff she knows how to is better than mine. But like I think she and I are the only two white people in this town. In the next town over where Christina's family lives, I remember when I was there like 10 years ago after Chris's surgery, there was a guy from Canada who was living there. And he was working, there's a thermoelectric power plant, like 45 minutes from here. It's just down the road from where Chris's family lives. And there are a bunch of Americans and Canadians who work at the thermonuclear power. It's not thermonuclear, I'm so sorry. Thermoelectric power plant. But they all live in hotels, like in places close to, and they only come down here on work contracts. So they're down here for 3 to 6 months, and they only work at those facilities. So you don't really see them that much. Is gringo an insulting? It kind of is, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, or at least the mythology is that it comes from a time when it was slang for green eyes go home, and that turned into gringo home. So like during the war, years and years and years ago, there have been various, things that have happened in this country's history. Mostly, I get referred to as güero, which is white Mexican. So most people just assume that I'm a güero, which is a white Mexican. And there are white Mexicans in this town. Like there's plenty of white Mexicans. No, that's all bullshit media, Gary. Seriously, the cartel activity in this country is, the way it works is there are a couple of areas of the country. So I don't know where you live, Gary, but like if you ever go to like Philadelphia in the United States, that's like one of the most dangerous cities. Chicago's another one. Chicago or Philadelphia, two of the most dangerous cities in the United States. Those cities have specific sections of the cities you just don't go to, because they are completely overrun by gangs, and you just don't go to those places because you will get shot, robbed, stabbed, beaten, killed, whatever, violated. There are a couple of parts of the country where it's like that, where it's cartel, and it's usually way up in the mountains where they have their poppy fields, and it's all, these days it's all opiate stuff. Why? Because that's what's shipping across the border to the U.S. That's the thing, Javier. It's either green eyes or green military clothing, green go home. It's that kind of stuff. So, oh, Gary, you're in Ireland. Ireland is pretty tame, although, you guys have different issues there. I know immigration's a hot topic for you guys right now in Ireland, but yeah, no, it's the cartel stuff is pretty much mythology. They do operate the state of Sonora. The state of Sonora has basically up in the mountains. It's just that's all controlled. I'm gonna have to put this cat at her. She's got the zoomies and she's running around like a nut job. And so you just don't go up to the mountains. And because those part of the mountains, that's where they have all their poppy fields, and that's where all their facilities are. So up in that part, and then in up near the border in the city of Juarez. Juarez is one of the most dangerous cities on the planet because it's a border city, and that's where a lot of the stuff gets shipped across the border. Really, what it comes down to is let me store this thing in the garage. Store vehicle.
Storing vehicle.
All right, can you calm down? Nope. I'm gonna have to grab her and put her out. She's gonna jump on the desk and knock something off. The general rule for the cartel stuff here is as long as you're a normal person and you're not involved in that business, then you're never gonna know that it even exists. There are issues with the government and cartels in certain sections of the country, but it's usually only in those sections. But the mythology that you see on the news is completely fabricated. It's not. All right, hang on. I gotta take care of this cat. She is jumping on green screen. I gotta get her out of here before she does something stupid.
How you doing, Sam? Let's just sit here for a second.
Let me just put it to you this way: the U.S. is a more dangerous place to travel to and live in than Mexico. The statistics on the per capita, like the murders per capita or the deaths per capita per 100,000 persons, is way higher in the U.S. than it is here. Generally speaking, crime and that sort of stuff, there are things that exist here, but it's not like in the U.S. It's way worse there. Why? For one, there's gun control here. So no one owns guns here other than the cartels, the military. Most farmers have guns, but it's really strict gun control here. So everyone has the right to have a firearm, but if you want to have a firearm, you have to go to Mexico City. You have to take a training course with the military. You have to pass a mental health check along with a physical training course. So it's very rare, unless you're a bodyguard or somebody like that. It's very strict gun control. So we don't have the issues that the U.S. has with people just running around shooting everybody. There's no mass shootings at schools here. Usually when you hear about cartel violence, it's usually cartel on cartel. So it'll be like this cartel is trying to push into this cartel's territory. They'll fight amongst each other. This cartel will kidnap 10 members of this cartel, cut their heads off, hang their bodies from a bridge to show off that don't come into our territory. It's never normal people that get caught in that, unless you're in a bad place. And if you're in a bad place, that's on you. Like, if you're, in a, a bad club at 4 o'clock in the morning and you're looking to score some stuff that's, then that's on you, man. Like, the normal people don't get involved in that kind of stuff, and so as a result, none of that really ever affects the normal average everyday citizen. It doesn't. Sicario style? No, that is not. If you've seen that movie, that is not dramatized. That is legit shit that goes down when it's cartel versus cartel. So yeah, that sort of stuff does happen, but it's cartel versus cartel. Yeah, Gary, that's pretty much how it is here. Farmers are allowed to have. There are very like I said, you can go if you're a bodyguard. You have to take a training course and everything else, but there are also limitations on what sort of firearms you're allowed to have here. Like, no one's going to be running around with an AK-47 fully automatic assault rifle in this country. No. Farmers can have like a 22 to shoot varmint. You know, you can have I can't remember. I know you can have like a 6-shooter revolver on your farm. You can have, I think, even like if you're a bodyguard, you can have like a 9mm, I think, semi-auto, handgun. But it's very strict, very controlled here. All right, I gotta grab a motorcycle. Oh, the Sicario films were awesome. I mean, obviously those are Hollywood and they're a little over the top, but it's not that. I mean, it's not these days. It's quite a bit different. It's kind of like Colombia during Pablo Escobar's days. Like, that was a legit, if you were a Colombian, not a big deal. But if you were anybody other than a Colombian, like, there were risks. And there were, like back in the days, like I remember one of my aunts refuses to come visit because she thinks she's going to get kidnapped, because she remembers back like 30 years ago, there was some white people who got kidnapped in Colombia. Because that was a thing that happened like 30 years ago. Some white tourists got kidnapped. Turns out they weren't really tourists, but they were in the wrong place, wrong time, in a place they shouldn't have been. They were in a country that was, in Colombia during Pablo Escobar. Yes, he was a menace to everybody, but to the locals, he was a hero. But the thing is like, if you went to Colombia during Pablo Escobar's era and you were a white person in Colombia, it was going to be assumed that you were there because you were part of the CIA. So like tourism, like no one believed that you were there on tourism. Why would you be here as a tourist during this time of the country, and all this stuff that's going on? Why would you be here if you were a tourist, right? So it's kind of like if I were to go to Ukraine right now as a tourist, if something happened to me in Ukraine because I'm there during a wartime, that would be on me, and that would be my fault for going to an active war zone. You know what I mean? Or if I were to go to the Gaza Strip, like, or to Ghana or any of these places that have war going on, and that's sort of the situation where if you go, back during whenever that was, the 80s or whatever, during Pablo Escobar's era. But you go to Colombia now is like one of the safest places in Latin America. Like, you can go to Colombia, every one of the cities is as safe as can be. It's one of the fastest growing places in Latin America. Colombia is an amazing country, and it has been for like the past 20 years since the Pablo Escobar era went away. Like, it's a completely different place. So many of the stories that people have heard about, like the cartel stuff, is from 30 years ago, when the wars were spilling over into other areas. But it's not like that now. It hasn't been for decades. Garage. I need a vehicle. I need a bike. Yeah, Devon, when Chris went to the US for the first time in 2017, We went to Walmart. We were in Huntsville, Alabama. And we went to Walmart because I needed a sweater because we showed up and the weather turned cold and we had only brought warm weather clothing. And she saw they were selling pew-pews in Walmart and she was like, oh my God, they sell guns here. And it's like, oh yeah, yeah, anybody can walk in. And I think you only have to be like 16. It's nuts.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Yeah, I've been here 15 years, Devon. I've never had a single issue. But I'm also, I don't go places that I shouldn't be going. And I think the only thing I've had happen in my entire 15 plus years here, it's almost 16 years, I guess now. I did get shaken down by corrupt cops in Cancun, and it's the corrupt traffic cops, and that's their shtick. So their shtick is every rental car in Mexico has red letters on the license plate. So it's a white license plate with red lettering, and so it's very visibly obvious that you were driving a rental car. And I was on a photo shoot for TripAdvisor, and I was driving through the hotel zone at like 5:45 in the morning to get to this hotel photo shoot for sunrise. And I'm in a rental car. I was not speeding. And these cops pulled me over and tried to tell me that I was doing like 70 kilometers in a 30 kilometer an hour zone. And I was like, nuh-uh. And I had a cop on the left of the car and the cop on the right of the car. And they spoke in English to me. And this was funny to me because I was a permanent resident by that point, and I spoke Spanish and everything else. And so I let them do their shtick, and their shtick was, you were doing this, this is this, it's going to cost you $150, and you pay the ticket here, and you can go on about your day. Now, I know, because I'm a resident, that if I have done something to warrant a ticket, the procedure is they take my license. They take my license to the police headquarters. I go pay the ticket at the police headquarters. I get my license back. That's how the process works here. So they were wanting me to pay the ticket on the spot. That's a scam. That's 100% a scam. You don't pay your ticket on the spot. They take your license goes to the location, you get your license back when you pay the ticket. Don't pay your ticket, don't get your license back. So they do their shtick in English and they want me to pay like $150. And as soon as they finished with their shtick, I pulled out my resident card and I switched to Spanish and I said, aquí está mi licencia, llévala a la oficina, voy a pagar. So here's my license, take it, I'll go pay the ticket. And they both, their eyes got really big and they went, oh, you're a resident. And I went, sí, soy residente permanente. And they went, oh, well, give us a minute. And they literally went back to their car, talked, sat there for like 20 minutes while I sat in my car, and they came back. And now at this point, this is when it's like, okay, they're gonna, at this point, I'm gonna have to pay something. Or, because here's the thing, they're either gonna take my license and make me go pay the ticket. That's one option. And then I'm gonna not be able to go to the photo shoot. So this is the inconvenience, because now they've got me over a barrel and you know that you're gonna have to pay the bribe, right? But because they know I'm local, then I'm not gonna pay the tourist bribe. But the point is now it's like, well, if they really want to give me a speeding ticket and fuck up my day, the speeding ticket's gonna be like $50. So they come back and they're like, look, you were speeding, we'd hate for you to have to lose your whole day. And I'm like, yeah. Here's $30. And they were like, all right, have a great day. And that was it. I paid $30 and I went on about my day. It's a total shakedown. It was a total scam. That's the only time that's happened to me. It's one time in 15 years or whatever. And it was literally just, they thought I was some stupid tourist who didn't know any better, who was going to pay a $150 bribe. Because so many tourists like, oh, I'm getting pulled over in a foreign country. Oh my God, I'm going to go to jail. And meanwhile, I'm just like, take my license. I'll go pay the ticket. Like, I'll go pay the ticket. It's $50. I'll go pay the ticket. Like, I would rather pay $50 for the ticket, then give you guys 150. But then they come back and they're like, look, we don't want to have to go through all the paperwork, blah, 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 because we got to fill out paperwork, you got to fill out paperwork. Anyway, we can work this out. And I'm just like, here's $30. So that's basically, I bought those guys lunch, that's what that turned into. Those guys got free lunch for the day, but they certainly didn't get the $150 that they thought they were going to get. And you can also tell when they are those types of cops because they'll have like rings on every finger. They'll have like gold necklaces like displayed over their those guys. It's so obvious. Yeah. What's up, JP? Everyone has a Cancun cop story. They got you for 2,000 pesos. Yeah, I mean it's just a scam. It's all it is. Because I tell you, I've driven across the country multiple times here in rental cars and in a borrowed vehicle for my brother-in-law one time, and not once have I ever, and I've been through, because they have checkpoints, they have soldier checkpoints and police checkpoints all over the place throughout this country. They do breathalyzers, they do all sorts of stuff to look for drunk drivers and all this other stuff. I've driven for 15 years, I've driven all across the country here, and not once have I ever had problems, ever, other than Cancun in the hotel zone, because that's the scam shtick. That's the only place I've ever come across that. Otherwise, it's just normal people doing a job. Matter of fact, I haven't told this story in a while. I was with a neighbor. We had rented a car and we were going to the ruins in Chichen Itza, but we were out by Yaxchilan, or not Yaxchilan. Sorry. Where were we? I remember we were coming. Oh, there's another set of ruins out by Chichen Itza that I can't remember what the name of it is now. It's down towards Tulum. Anyway, we were going to the ruins, and they close at 4 o'clock, and it's like 3:15 in the afternoon, and we're like another 10 minutes out from the place, and we hit a checkpoint that had been set up, and my neighbor's Mexican girl, and we get pulled over to the side of the road, and they're like, hey, can you pop the trunk? Because they're just searching for drugs and weapons is what they're searching for. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. I pop the trunk, and they're back there searching around and stuff. And she gets out of the car. She gets out of the car and starts yelling. Like literally, she's going off at the cops, going, "Hey, come on, guys! The ruins close in like 30 minutes. We're trying to get there on time. What the fuck? Can you just hurry it up?" And I remember I freaked out because she got out of the vehicle during this traffic stop, and I'm like, if this was the U.S., she would have been tased and shot. Like for getting out of the vehicle without the permission of the power hungry dipshits who get badges in the US. And I remember just like, oh my God, somebody's gonna get shot. I'm in a traffic stop and I'm gonna be witness to somebody getting shot. And instead the cops are like, we're so sorry, ma'am. Go on about your day. Sorry to be a hassle. We're so sorry. Forgive us. And then we were off. We were there for like 3 to 5 minutes maybe. But she got out of the car. Like the normal situation here is like no one respects the police at all. Like they're literally minimum wage people. And I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, I definitely could tell I'm in another country. Could I have Phantom asked a good question? Being a permanent resident, could you have gone to the police station and asked why the cops were shaking you down? Not at that point in time, because that was under the previous administration. Now the current administration, the administration that just got voted in, AMLO. So he was the president for 6 years. And now we have Claudia. She's the current president. They're from the same party. Their administration is anti-corruption, 100%. They actually have told people, record every single interaction with the police. Record them. If you ever come across corruption, if you turn your recordings in, take your recordings to the local police chief, please. So the current administration is so anti-corruption that they want the citizens to record everything. The previous administrations, which was PRI, I think was the name of their political party, they were so in bed with the with the cartels and everything else that it was just sort of a thing where Yeah, there's no point in reporting it because no one's going to give a shit. But the new administration that's been the last president and this president are actively against that kind of stuff. So they tell the citizens record everything, don't pay bribes, let's fight this shit together. He formed a national guard because there are portions of the police that are corrupt. So to get away with that, they have a national guard that got formed, which is independent. Um, we actually have a National Guard station down by the river where we go for our walks and runs. JK says, my mate used to live in Fiji. There's a tourist price and a local price. That was true in Cancun. There's definitely the gringo tax, and if you don't know any better, you get hit for it. Where I live now, though, that's not true. Like Mexico City, I never had that problem. It was Puerto Vallarta and Cancun, Playa del Carmen definitely had the two price thing. But the cool thing is because I have a resident card, most places here in Mexico, if you have a resident card, this is my credit card, but if you have a resident card, all you got to do is flash your resident card and you automatically get a local discount. So like the local buses, they will all give you like a 40% discount if you have a local residency card. And then like as an example, all the ruins and historical sites, museums nationwide on Sundays, anyone who is a Mexican citizen or a permanent resident can go for free. So if you ever want to go to like the museums or the ruins or the big pyramids and all that stuff, you just go on a Sunday because you can get in for free. You don't have to pay an entry fee because that's their way of saying we want our citizens to be able to enjoy these places independent of all the tourism that comes in. And so you just wait to go on a Sunday and you can go in and have a nice picnic, and it doesn't cost you anything other than whatever your transport is to get there. Yeah, Claudia's badass. Bantamix. I love Claudia. AMLO is pretty cool as well. I really do like the current administration. They've done great things for the country. I could tell you directly from my own nieces and nephews. This current president and the last president gave scholarships to every single kid in grade school and up. So now kids have this government funded scholarship which gives them money to buy school supplies, books, school uniforms, helps them take care of if they got to take like a bus to get to school if they don't have like a bus system there. So every kid gets a scholarship to go to school, so it's an incentive to get kids into school so that the parents don't have to worry about, oh, my economic situation, I can't pay for school supplies, I can't pay for the uniforms. Government's got you covered. So every kid gets a scholarship. They've raised the minimum wage in the last 6 or 7 years. I think the minimum wage has gone up like 7 or 8 times. Like it's like 20. I think it's don't quote me on this. I think the minimum wage is like 20 times higher than it was. During the whole pandemic, gas prices here never went up for like petrol because we have all of our own petroleum, and so the gas prices were the same the whole time. There is inflation, but it's not as bad as other places. What else? They've got 2 different ports going on now. They built the Mayan train, which now gives them another cross-country train from Atlantic to Pacific, which is increasing port trade for the country. The first thing the past president did when he got into office was he sold the presidential plane and used that money to increase pension for old people. So he sold the presidential plane and used the funding to fund the pensions for old people so that they could get more money to help pay for groceries and things when they're 75, 85 years old. And so he's raised the minimum wage. And Claudia is continuing that. So they've done some good things. I mean, obviously, like any world leader, there's pros and cons. They're not perfect in everything. But I can say from living on the ground, I've seen some great things under this current administration, which has been in power now from the last president to this president. And she just took office. So if she can continue the things that have happened over the past 6 years, if you look on an economic standpoint, Mexico is a rising economic power. There still is there's some major issues here with wage gaps. And a lot of that is just because of the corruption from previous generations that's hard to shake off. But you know, one of the cool things here, and I don't know if you guys have this where you guys are from, but I don't know, like in the US, if you want to go, this is one example. Like in the US, if you want to transfer money to someone and they are at a different bank from you, you have to go to the physical bank branch, and you have to fill out a bunch of paperwork just to be able to send money from one bank to another bank, whether it's the same bank or another bank outside of that system. So, you know, and there's all these different private banks and all this other stuff. It's a very complex system. Here in Mexico, every single bank, you do it all on your app. I can literally log into any bank in this country has an app, and I can immediately say, what's your key? What's your clave? It's a completely free transfer, and it's instantaneous. Every single bank in this country, I can hop on an app, and I can just enter your key and your transfer code, and I can instantly transfer money to you. So I can go out for beers with my buddies and be like, shit, guys, I left my wallet at my house. What's your key? Pick up my phone, enter my buddy's transfer key, send him $10 for the beers, and it's instantly in his account. No transfer fees, no bullshit other apps. It's so amazing. And that, you know, like in the US, oh no. You got to use Venmo, or you got to use PayPal, or you got to use all these services. And what do the services do? They charge you a fee to do that sort of shit. And then if you want to do a wire transfer, you have to go to the bank. It sure as shit ain't instantaneous. It takes 2 to 3 business days, 2 to 4 business days. They're going to charge you $15 in an outgoing, $15 in the incoming. $10 like it's, yeah, it costs a few dollars. Oh, you're talking gas. Never mind. Yeah, gas is expensive everywhere. It's stupid. Anyway, I have had a good time here for the years I've been here, and I can only hope that it continues to be good, because you know they could get a stupid president in another 6 years that decides to throw it all away, kind of like the Cheeto that's in office north of us, and it, you know, I could find myself no longer liking it here. But you know, I've been here a long time. I'm invested here. I've seen really good things. Yeah, so Thaydar says Australia's instant transfer too. Yeah, it's so bass-ackwards north. Gary says we could do it the same. You know, Gary, when I was in Ireland a few years ago, one of the things that blew me away, I think the name of the company was 3. I think was the name of the company. I got a SIM card for my phone that had unlimited data, unlimited 4G data, and with 5G coverage in some places for €30. This was end of 2018, and I was like sitting here going, dude, I have never seen an unlimited data program for a phone that was as cheap as what I got while I was in Ireland. And we were there for a month, and it was like I had unlimited coverage across the whole country while we were there, and I was just like, for €30. I was like, this is ridiculously cheap. I was so stoked. We are not stopping. Don't get stuck. Don't get caught. I think we're good. Whew, we made it. Yeah, they do make it. It's really easy to pick up. JK says in New Zealand it's not easy to drive to another country, though. That's true. That's fair. Gary says 3 is now €20 for unlimited data. Dude, that's nuts. €20 for unlimited data on a mobile device. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you could set that up as a Yeah, if you need to, you could set that up as a mobile hotspot for your laptop. You're good to go, man. I know when we were there for the month we were there, that was the last contract Chris and I did in the travel industry. And we were there working with the Fáilte Ireland Tourism Board, and then we worked with the Ireland Blue Book Society, and we did this big road trip around the Wild Atlantic Way for 2 weeks in a car with the drone and all of our camera gear and everything. And so it was awesome because every single night we'd be in a place where I could just plug my, most of the places had Wi-Fi, but if we got in a couple of places that didn't have Wi-Fi, I had my mobile and I could just set up as a hotspot, upload all my footage from the day. And for like €30, I was like, this is ridiculously cheap. All right, somewhere in here is a pizza delivery. The Wild Atlantic Way was awesome, Gary. And I was talking about this the other day. I have all that footage is stored on a external hard drive, which I think I have stuck in a box. I don't think I have it out right now. I've done a few of the drone videos on our Homestead channel because that used to be where we stuck all of our travel content. But I still have I think 95% of our Wild Atlantic Way footage is just sitting on an external hard drive. I never cut it. I produced what I needed to produce for our contracts, and then the rest of it was just like B-roll footage that was just Chris and I rolling around in a car, and she had her handheld camera, because we still had a handheld HD camera, plus we had the drone, and then I had the other HDR. The Wild Atlantic Way was a phenomenal experience, and then because we were working with the Blue Book Society, we were staying every single night. We were staying in castles and protected locations, these historic sites going up the coast. We started on the southern tip and worked our way all the way to the north. It's in storage, but we've got the Wild Atlantic Way passports that you could get at the post offices. That was that was a really fun road trip to finish off our last contract in the travel space because it was a little cold. We were there in October. I know Chris was dying dying of the cold, but we have some amazing here. I'm gonna pull this up since you've got me reminiscing, Gary. Let me grab my let me go to the this is our old Instagram. Because we have some really phenomenal old shots from when we were in Ireland. We had a great time. I think Christina's favorite chowder of all time we had up in Newcastle at Great Jones Craft and Kitchen. I'm gonna spam the link. I'm gonna spam the chat here with some links. Hang on. This is a bunch of our old Ireland footage. This is one of my favorite shots right here of us. Which was at, I don't know where we took that photo. All right, hang on. Oh, and that sunrise shot. Hang on, I'm getting a bunch of links to drop in chat. Yeah, no, she was freezing her butt off, Gary. Oh yeah, this is a sunrise shot with a drone at Enesco House. Oh, and this is a trip too. We were at this place called Enesco House, which is this really cool old castle. And the son, his mom was the one she was the owner, but the son was managing. He was in his 30s. He was a huge World of Warcraft player, and I was deep into developing an MMORPG when we were there at the same time. So he and I ended up hitting it off because of our MMORPG background and our World of Warcraft time. And he and I stayed in touch for 4 years after that. Him and his wife had a baby. Really cool people. Anyway, hang on. I'm dropping a bunch of links here in chat. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, Balik Castle, the Armada Bar. Oh, wow. Yeah, this takes me back, man. So this is what Chris and I used to do for our day job. Hang on. So I'm going to put a bunch of links in chat. So that's a link. That's another link. So these are some photos from when we were on site. These are going up in YouTube and Twitch for everybody. We haven't used the account in years. That's because I'm bending. You know what I need at my desk, guys? So I don't have a proper stand-up desk. What I have is I have two web cameras, and what I do is when I stand up, I just move to the upper web camera and I tilt my monitor up, and then I have to bend down to type because the keyboard is still on the desk. What I really need is like a box or something that I could like put here when I'm standing up so that my keyboard is actually here in front of me. But I don't have that. I don't have a proper stand-up desk. It's a rigged thing. Anyway, those are some of our shots from Ireland. The first one is just Chris and I. We were there on our anniversary, so it was like a working anniversary out on the coast. The second one is when we were at Great Jones Craft and Kitchen in Newcastle, and we had this amazing chowder, the seafood chowder that was just, oh my God, it was so good, and some hot wings in the background. The third one is just some horses we saw on the coast, which was great. The fourth one is a sunrise drone shot from Enesco House. And then the fifth one is the Armada Bar at Balik Castle, which Balik Castle was really sweet. They had an actual like armada. They have an armory downstairs, and like it's like full on. You got to wear gloves and you go down, and it's like we've got some videos we produced for them. It was a great trip, but like they had this massive longsword that was like twice my height. And it's like I could barely lift the damn thing. I was like, who the fuck was the monstrosity who was wielding this sword on the battlefield? Because this thing is freaking huge. And they had like suits of armor and it was good times. Many years ago, back when our job was traveling around and doing photography and videography for people. But Ireland was our last, like a claymore. I think that's what it's called, is a claymore. I have good memories, and I know people have asked, do you ever miss traveling? It's like, I don't really miss the act of traveling, but I do miss those experiences, because those experiences were a lot of fun, but the travel is the part I don't miss. I don't miss airports. I don't miss any of that stuff. Did I get to go to Skellig? I know we froze our butts off. That's the one thing I do know. But it was a good trip.
Pizza should always be kept flat during transport, as in level with the ground.
Anyway, you got me reminiscing.
Keep that in mind
Gary.
before you try to stuff one in a backpack. Otherwise, you're liable to make a huge mess.
Many years ago.
Order assigned. Delivery parameters updated. Time limit set.
Oh, I have a time limit too. Good thing I have a motorcycle. Cargo. Whoa! Cargo delivery damaged by stacking. Huh. Hopefully I didn't just screw it up. Huh, I remember delivering a pizza before on the bike and it wasn't a problem, and now it's freaking out because it's not flat. I wonder if I took the truck before. I'm gonna load. I don't want to damage the pizza. I may need to rethink how I'm gonna deliver this.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. All clear. Welcome to Sam Porter Bridges.
Alright, let me go get a truck instead of the motorcycle. Coming to save every mother loving day now, America. That was such a good movie. I will never forget the whole, I promise, I will never die. And then immediately proceeds to pile drive. Can I not put this fucking pizza in the truck? There we go. Oh, this doesn't work. We'll do something else.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey. Keep on keeping.
Okay, I think I just need to drive back up.
Safe travels. Have a pleasant journey. Have a pleasant journey.
Alright, we're gonna go through BT territory here in a minute. And hopefully outrun them. I had a truck the first time? Okay, that's what it was, JK. I didn't remember that. Oh, you know what I should do? Can I park underneath here and like regenerate the pizza? Obviously we've got BTs, but like, can I regenerate the pizza here? Alright, so it's gonna have some damage to it apparently, which sucks. It's 1%, that's not that big of a deal, I don't think. Yeah, it better be the best pizza in the world. Don't stop the damn truck. Gotta outrun the BTs. Don't stop the damn truck. Spread, Go! Boost! 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 Shit! Get on the highway! Alright, I'm good from here because I have a highway built all the way out to the north to the delivery site, so we're good. One of these days I'm going to have to rebuild the rest of that highway section. JP says I haven't been in a lot of places, but the best pizza I was in Portland, Oregon. There are some good pizza places out there. You know, also in Colorado, I don't know if they're outside of Colorado. It's called Bojo's Pizza. And they do these special deep dish pizzas that, I'm not joking when I say it's about 3 inches thick. And I remember the first time we had them was like, I was probably 7 or 8 years old. It was in the 80s. And we were on a vacation trip. But there's like these 3-inch thick pizzas. And they literally have this like hot butter honey that they serve as a side on the table. So that when you finish your pizza, you've got this massive hunk of delicious, crusty bread that you get to dip in the butter honey. Ah, it's so good. I love pizza. Like, burgers and fries are probably my number one after like a steak and baked potato. Like steak, baked potato, burger and fries, and pizza are like my go-to like comfort foods that I can eat anywhere, anytime, don't care, day, night, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Yeah, JP, when the lines between pizza pie and pie are blurred. So good. Pineapple can be, yeah, it depends. Like ham and pineapple, I can get behind a ham and pineapple pizza. But I don't like pineapple on all my pizzas. Like, but a ham and pineapple pizza, that's pretty tasty. Like, I definitely like anchovies on certain pizzas as well. I know some people really don't like anchovies on pizzas. But I like anchovies. I also like sardine. Like Chris just gave me for, we had, it was a snack like last week she made. I had some leftover bruschetta and she used that with some smoked sardines, queso fresco, and some just toasted bread. And capers, I think is what they're called. It was a nice little afternoon snack. Yeah, I had hummus like an hour ago, so I'm okay right now. Yeah, I remember when I went to Italy for the first time, and I had never had, like they did these like calzone type things that I'd never had before I went to Italy, and I fell in love with them. I was like, this is just awesome. And then of course the pizzas they make there are so different than anywhere else in the world. I think Italy is still probably my all-time favorite like travel experience that I ever had. I was there in 2009? In August. It was really hot, but it was a good trip. It was like 3 weeks in country. I was with a group. It was with my ex's family. And they were there doing a pilgrimage, like for their church. Like they were part of an Orthodox church from Bulgaria, and they were on a pilgrimage to visit all these religious sites across Italy that were in all the major cities. And I was just along for the ride, so they rented the whole group rented a tour bus, and we spent like 3 weeks on a tour bus just going across Italy. And going to all these like ancient churches and monasteries. It's a cool trip. You should absolutely eat the leftover homemade beef burrito. You should absolutely do it. And yes, Gary, leftover morning pizza is the only acceptable answer. My wife hates leftover pizza from morning, and I'm like, I'll just grab it straight out of the fridge with a cup of coffee, and I'm just like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah," cold, hot, I don't care. Oh, I gotta grab it out of the truck. Oh, I just chucked the pizza. Not what I meant to do. Poor pizza. Wait, is this not where I make the delivery? Shit, let me put this back in the truck. I thought this was where I made the delivery at. Apparently I drove past where I'm supposed to make the delivery. It's because I'm talking, not paying attention. Hang on, guys.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey. Keep on keeping up. Keep on keeping up.
Where the hell am I delivering the pizza to? Fresh pizza. It's this guy right here. Stop the car, stop the car. Oh, I forgot. You can't go through that. I have to go actually around. This is why I would fail as an actual pizza delivery dude, because my buddies would text me while I was driving and I'd be like, "What? A new game trailer released." Let me go watch. Oh shit, where am I supposed to be going?
Weapons restrictions lifted.
I'm gonna ramp this car. I've never ramped a car before. Let's do it. I do really want some pizza now, though.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Fragile Express ID verified. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified.
Oh, did I block myself in? I'm good. Make delivery.
Delivering cargo.
Talking about pizza while forgetting the pizza. It's legit, man. That's how you know I've smoked my fair share of Santa's salad while while eating pizza and talking about pizza. Oh, Thandar, you do need to try the habanero lime juice concoction. It goes best, honestly, with like what I like it best with is like a chicken soup when you got like a chicken vegetable soup. It goes really well with that. Like you have the chicken vegetable soup, you have tortillas, and then you have that lemon habanero salt concoction, and then you dip the tortillas. So like you take a bite of the chicken and the vegetables, dip the tortilla in that habanero sauce, maybe spoon up a couple bites of that habanero, and the concoction in your mouth is just so good. But it's also really good with like eggs, like scrambled eggs with like, I don't know, whatever kind of cheese you like scrambled. Like I like to do like I'll take garlic, onions, and like black olives and kind of saute them up in a pan and then scramble my eggs in there or do like an omelet with that and then cover it with like cheddar cheese or manchego or whatever and then have that habanero dipping sauce on the side for like my tortillas. It's good stuff, man. And then if you ever get a chance to make any sort of salsa with chili árbol, which is just, it's like a really smoky red, it's so good. It's such a good chili. I'll talk. Alright, pizza's delivered.
Weapons restrictions lifted. Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Fragile Express ID. Weapons restrictions lifted.
A toast to a porter good and true. Once again, your incomparable pizza delivery skills have been put to the proof and found unimpeachable in every regard. Thank you very much. Truck's battery is running out. What? It's half. Oh, well, I guess it's not half. It's like a quarter of the way. Is there not a generator up here? I guess we have been driving it for a long time.
Charge this battery.
Can we get it back to the garage?
Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Welcome to Lake Knot City. Proceed to distribution center.
Yeah, it's funny. When I was younger, I didn't really care about food, too much. It was just always just, I worked construction, so for me, it was always just whatever's quick. We were talking about fast food the other day. I have an affinity for fast food because I spent years just living on sandwiches and fast food. No, I have not finished Reacher. I think the most recent episode. We have not watched the most recent episode. Like, I'm about to, as soon as I wrap this stream up, which is going to be shortly, we're going to go. I got to get the most recent episode of Reacher and most recent 2 episodes of Daredevil, and we're going to be watching TV tonight. Last episode dropped last night. Season finale was today. I didn't realize I wonder if we missed last week's episode then. So I may be a couple episodes behind on Reacher. We were really busy. Chris had a graduation party. One niece had a graduation. The other niece had a baby. She was out of the house for a couple of days, so we haven't had a chance to get caught up on all our shows. So today and tomorrow are going to be show watches. Seems like a short season for Reacher. All right. Speaking of that, that's probably a good place for me to wrap. We're 3.5 hours in, and since you guys reminded me, I do need to go get a bunch of episodes prepped. I thought we were only on. I guess we are up to episode 8. I think we've only watched up to episode 6. I would have to go check my channel to see because that's where I put the reviews. And I haven't. I know where we didn't. I don't really think we watched a lot last week. Hang on, I'm gonna scroll up on my Discord channel here because I'll be able to see when did I drop the most recent episode. That was the finale of Severance, which was last week. Shit, now I'm curious. Oh, I think we missed a week of Reacher. Yeah, I think we missed a week of Reacher. I don't think we watched Reacher last week because I just saw my Deadpool, I just saw my Daredevil review for episode 3. We've watched episode 4, but I haven't reviewed episode 4 yet. I can't find Reacher. Where's my last Reacher episode? Damn it! Oh, I know why. We're not actually reviewing Reacher. I know why I don't have any episodes. That's one I'm not reviewing. I did a mid-season update, but that's one I'm watching with Chris on a weird schedule, so I'm not reviewing that one. I'm reviewing Daredevil. Severance is done. I'm going to be reviewing Andor and Last of Us 2 in April. So Last of Us 2 kicks off at the beginning of April, I think. Andor is like April 22nd or something. So I'll be able to do The Last of Us Season 2. I'll be reviewing that on the other channel. And then I will eventually get to Andor Season 2, which I can't wait for, man. Andor Season 2 looks fucking fire. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow morning bright and early for some more Assassin's Creed Shadows. And this is going to be the schedule for the next few days. I think it's going to be this and Death Stranding. Assassin's Creed Shadows in the morning, Death Stranding in the afternoons is the current schedule. Great Cat, thank you very much. Great Cat, you said something earlier. You just reminded me. I forgot to say this. You said something about you're currently saving up money to like move somewhere. It's not a bad. There are a lot of places, so many places that you can go, and these days, it's just kind of. I've always looked at it as what do you, especially as I've gotten older, I want to know that I have access to good healthcare and good transport, like to be able to get around and travel and stuff like that. That was a big deal for me for a while, was being sure that I was in a place that had really good food, good medical facilities, and an airport. Now I'm in the boonies and I'm happy to just like live in the middle of nowhere where I don't have any neighbors. That's obviously there are pros and cons to that as well, but yep. There are places you can go that are pretty affordable. I've got a website that I shared. You're a channel member. I don't know if you've watched the video, Great Cat, but I've talked about it a couple times on YouTube in the channel member section. There's a guy I follow on YouTube who bought a mountain property in the mountains of Italy for about 30,000 US dollars. It was like 30,000 euro, $28,000, something like that. He bought the property. It was a pretty decent sized place up in the mountains of Italy, with 2 buildings on site that needed a lot of work. And his whole YouTube channel is just dedicated to him. Over the past like 3 or 4 years, he's been like he's got the buildings are completely redone now. He's got a greenhouse. He's got a chicken coop. He's got an outbuilding. He's got a well dug. He's documented the whole process. And it was about 30,000. So I mean, you can do it for relatively a relatively low amount. Like you don't need $150,000-$250,000. You can get stuff for like $15,000 to $30,000. You can get a nice piece of land with an existing structure on it. It's going to need some work, but as long as you're willing to do the work or be there on site to govern the work being done, you can find lots of places around the world, even in major European countries, where you can find land for, $15,000 to $30,000 US dollars. Where I live, you can actually buy plots of land for like $5,000. So it's you could get even less than that, but it's not going to have any facilities on it. But
Thank God.
we're actually getting ready to. Well, I'll be talking about that in a different video, but we're getting ready to do some expansion locally here, because there is the field across the street from our house just is getting divided up into lots, and so I think we're going to buy a couple of the lots there so that we have some property right across the road from us. But yeah, keep saving. Good luck. Now's the time. Better late than never. Anyway, folks, catch you tomorrow. Have a great day.